want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab and then take it. Like a disease, bring them to their knees. No pain for their disease. Breathe just like a wind, spread into the streets. It's time to make them bleed. 'Cause we just want retribution. Let's go light up the darkness. Make true of an empty promise. Flip cards into weak and harmless. Take to the streets and turn them to a mosh pit. 'Cause we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Feet in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make great.
All right, guys, let's get this party started. If you want a reading, be sure and visit my stand store. It is linked in the description below. And as always, we have a fair use, a disclaimer. As you come in, please hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and share the video if you like it. Let's get it going. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Astrology for Mystics. I'm Jen. Thank you for joining me tonight. Okay, so tonight, I want to talk to you guys about Sebastian. And I want to talk to you guys, or anyone that is going to watch this live afterwards. I want to talk to you guys and tell you what I learned. Because there's definitely a higher learning when it comes to missing child's cases, right? And I want us all to be on the same page. If you're visiting this channel for the first time, please like, subscribe, and I expect everybody that is constantly coming into this chat to learn as I learn to please like, share, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe, guys. I work my butt off for the missing kids, not just Sebastian, but all missing kids, all the missing. I've been doing it for years and I've been learning a lot over these years. But there is something new that I have learned that I want to share with you guys. And I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm definitely going to be just going ahead and, I want to share this with you guys because I think it's so important that we all get on the same page. Hold on. Let me share it with you. All right. So, when it comes to missing kids, whether it's Sebastian, whether it's Summer, whether it's any missing person whatsoever, if you are in a chat, if you are in a restaurant, it doesn't matter where you're at. If you hear that someone may have seen a missing kid, a missing person, you do not have to be the person to originally witness the information or anyone that would comment or to report it. So rather than anyone telling someone else what to do, how to do it, how quick that they should do it, anyone that has this information, whether it be in a chat, anywhere, if you hear of any missing person that has been cited, and even like last night in my live with Sebastian, and someone said that they may have seen Sebastian. We went through all the steps. We uploaded it to the FBI website. Whether we did it right or not, look, it is all of our responsibility, not just the person that may have seen the missing person. It is all of our responsibility to report it because the person could be in immediate danger. Hearsay is definitely accepted. Police accept secondhand information and will investigate it thoroughly. They will investigate it. I want all of us to be on the same page. Anybody that comments in a chat, you don't have to wait for them. Okay? You do not have to wait for them. You do not have to be that person that saw the missing person. All you've got to do is have some type of inkling information of where that person was seen. That's it. You can screenshot the person that said it. You can screenshot where they said that they saw it. And if you don't have the screenshots and it's just by verbal communication, you can record it or you can just simply call it in. So this is kind of like a come to Jesus meeting. Okay. This is just kind of like a come to Jesus meeting because I want you guys to know that we don't have to pressure someone. We don't have to ask someone. We can be the ones. So if anybody thinks that the way that this lead was called in last night could have been, done better, you can make sure that you do it yourself. In fact, you can think that we did it right and still call it in. Yesterday, the dark moon was coming over Sebastian's Mercury. Mercury is the media. This is media. Mercury is a higher mind, the power of the mind. It's a lot about communications and networking. Okay, networking, all working together. The other thing that happened to me today is I had a past lead that was given to me today that I want to show you on the map. I actually want to show this to you on the map because I want to show you this past lead that came in on June 23rd. I'm not going to tell you any more about it, but I want to show you on the map because I work hard, hard for the missing. And my work, tell me anyone else in the entire world that's doing it. It works when it's worked. That's key because if we don't work it, it's not going to be worked. And that's the way that we work a map. Even Crabtree understood. The way that we work a map is crucial of bringing in results. Okay. So now that we got that out of the way, anyone can call in the lead. Anyone that was in the chat can call in the lead. We don't have to wait. And we don't have to make it, we don't have to make it to where someone is the sole responsible person. Okay. It just doesn't have to be that serious. We can all call it in. In fact, we can all call it in all at the same time. It doesn't matter. So check this out. So today, because, the work that I do is so different from everybody else that you're going to see on the YouTube streets, on the TikTok streets. The work that I do, this is innovative. I am studying hard. Renee with a matter of perception.org, she inspired me so much. And she inspired me so much that I can't tell you guys enough that I'm evolving these studies that she began. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't even be doing this. If it wasn't for everything that has happened in my life, good and bad. And that brings me to Sebastian Rogers because this line, I want to show you something about this line. This line for Sebastian is his natal moon in Aries. It's a 428, which was in transit last night. It was in transit last night with Vulcanus and Leo. Let me explain what that means. Vulcanus and Leo is a lot of emotion. It's a lot of attention. It's a lot of attention on a kid. That was happening in my live last night. His natal moon in Aries, fourth house of home, is fated with where he's been before. The South Node in Leo is where he's been before. And I can promise you that Jupiter is going to end up coming here. Jupiter is the law. Jupiter is also about military. It's also about government. It's a higher learning, a higher school. It's educational. Okay. So this natal moon, it says this angle goes into Canada and Puerto Rico. But I just explained in more detail what this angle means. And it was in transit last night with Vulcanus, that 428 with his moon. And it's about war. So it could be, it could be warring. It could be the way that his mother wants him to be independent of her. This lead is also right here with the FBI. This is where the FBI shines with attention and kids in the 10th house of Leo. And it conjuncts, just wait for it, Mars, the car, the vehicle, all attention. Is this angle with the FBI. And that's also where Jupiter is coming to. Then the next person that we find is Tony Mathis. Tony's been here before. He's been this way. It's a lot of attention with a lot of energy. It could be church related. There's definitely a lot of attention on this line. Then we've got Sebastian again over here. His 9th house, Leo. This is where he makes his mark. It's squaring the death. Things of the past that happened with him, hidden sex, things that would really bother him with being a victim and not being, not having the treatment of being a victim. there's a higher learning here, and it's long travels. And then we've got Chris. Chris learns a lot here with the law enforcement. Long travels, what he learns about child, possibly Sebastian on this angle. And then we've got the TBI. The TBI. The TBI is learning a lot of things from yours truly right here. It could be about video, online networking. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that these leads that come in, okay, I like to put them on the map for a reason because it's going to tell a story. I may not have a hot spot there, but it could be a great potential for a hot spot. And I'm looking. There is nothing about me, okay? Absolutely nothing about me that should prevent anyone from talking about this. Because look, it takes us all to raise kids and it takes us all to find them. There's no one hit wonder when it comes to finding kids. And we should all work together. We should all work together to find these kids, especially these kids, especially the kids. They're our future. And this is a future innovative way to find the missing. Help me. Help me. Because the mapping, just because you don't understand it, just because you don't get it, don't mean it don't work. I've seen it work time and time again, and I'm not a dumb person at all. So help me. And if you guys hear about a lead, let me know. Let me know. We all want transparency from the law enforcement, but we got to be that too. We got to be transparent with one another, and it takes us all. And if you tell somebody else, hey, don't tell nobody, I'm not nobody. I'm not nobody. I'm map. And I have worked my butt off with these kids' maps. It takes me hours, thousands of hours that I spend. Give me the respect that I deserve, or never come into this channel ever again. And I mean that with everything that I love, and I feel so passionate about what I'm doing and how it can be such a great work. But I can't be the only one working the map. We all have to work it with the information that we know. And a person that you hear, I think I might have seen Sebastian this here and here and here. Pick up the phone and call yourself. Don't tell that person over and over. Okay, tell the person. Tell the person. Call it in. I'm going to call it in. I think you should too. I think we should both call it in. I think we should both put it in. We all have the responsibility because once you hear it, you have the responsibility too. Once you hear it, you got that responsibility too, guys. You did not cause any issues. You did not cause any issues. There are no issues except the fact that we should work together. We should all be transparent. And we should all be working together to find these kids. And if you think that you saw him on a scooter on Sandy Road and you tell people about it, all those people that you told also have a responsibility to call it in. We don't have to wait on you. We don't have to wait on you. We don't have to wait on you to try to figure it out. And it's not that you did anything wrong, because you absolutely did everything right. You did everything right. And I commend you for saying, hey, I'm not sure. I just kind of wonder if that could have been Sebastian. If you kind of wonder, if you think that it could be Sebastian, who cares? Call it in. If you don't know how to call it in, say, hey, I think I saw Sebastian. Can you call this in for me? But I'm just saying to take all the responsibility off of people like you, to take all the responsibility off of you, we have a due diligence too. Okay? We can do it too. We don't have to come at you like a bullet and say, boom, you better do this right now. No, we can do it too. We can call it in too. So I just want to make sure that everybody understands from here forward, anybody that would visit this channel that is invested in any missing kids, if you hear a lead, call it in. Call it in. Yes, exactly. Yes. It is for all of us. It is for all of us, sweetheart. How could I ever be mad at you? I'm not mad. I'm not upset with anyone at all. Like I'm passionate. And if I'm coming across as being bitchy or mad, I'm definitely not. Let me get that right out there. Like I'm definitely not. I just want us all to know that we have a responsibility, not just to Sebastian, not just to Summer, all of the missing. If we hear of a lead, we can also call it in. It is it is not just, "Oh, we really wish you wouldn't." No, they want those leads. They want those leads. Yes, you see something or you hear something and you say it. Make the call. And in this live and in any live that I do from now on, I'm gonna make sure to have the numbers for people because I'm going to remind people all the time, any of us can do it. Any of us. And I don't know why I didn't know that. Like, I assumed it, but I didn't know it. Like, I didn't seek that information out. And I've been doing this for years, you know, years. And you're not the first person that would have come up here and said, I think I might have seen someone. I do. People come on my TikTok too. And it's not just with Sebastian. Like I said, I've been doing it for years. This isn't my first rodeo. Sebastian is not my first rodeo. I've got hundreds of maps and I've been doing it for years. And I think that it's just been like, oh my gosh, like I need to tell everybody this. It's kind of common sense, but maybe, I wasn't having common sense and thinking about this, that in that depth. You know what I'm saying? We know now. We know, guys. We know now. Exactly. It just takes one lead and we can't discount that lead, right? We can't discount that lead. And so the lead that we're talking about in Oklahoma, in Atoka, Oklahoma, let me just show you. Let me show you on here what we're talking about here is this one right here. Let me show you on his map. So the one that we're talking about is right here in Oklahoma. And obviously, it's his sun. It's his sun in Sagittarius and it's conjunct the Mars. So it's not just about how Sebastian shines, but it could have to do with the vehicle as well. So we're looking at two instances of possible vehicles. And the dark moon would have come over his sun and that Mars, it would have come over there 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Okay. So with that being said, when this other lead came in and, at a movie theater, when this other lead had come in, it was the dark moon had, it was on someone else, not on Sebastian. There was nothing really pressing about that lead per se, except a couple of people. It was a day that I was watching simply because Saturn at that time had come over Eric Craddock. Saturn had come over the degree in which he shares with Katie and Chris, and I was watching that. And if you had caught a live, I might have said it. I might have said those days, oh, I wonder what's going on there. I wonder what's going on there. The lead in the other lead that came in this morning, the past lead, the media, the dark moon, were reflecting on disordered aggression with it. And we were. There was some disordered aggression with it. A lot of confusion too. And with this one, with Sebastian, um, that day I was in transit with groups and my work with the innovative work and my values with loyalty. And I wondered what it was going to, because Pluto transforming you with groups in the future it comes in the future because it's in Aquarius. And like I said, Aquarius comes later. It doesn't hit you right then. I've observed this for years. I know. So I was waiting on that too. So when it came, like, okay, there it was. There it is. It seems to fail, to teach me. And as long as we are seeking, a higher knowledge, it definitely wants to give us a higher knowledge, especially with astrology. Anybody that's ever had a reading with me, I know what I'm talking about. We get down deep in readings, but that's not what this is about. This is about us calling in leads. It's about working the map together. It's about doing whatever it is that we can do to find these kids. It doesn't matter where you are, what city you're in, what state you're in, put out flyers. I don't care what state you're in, what city you're put out flyers. You never know. You could be the one to bring a missing kid home. Even though you may have your own theories about what happened and that kid or that person is deceased, what if they're not? And they're living right down the street from you, and you didn't even put out a flyer. Then they get found down there, and you're like, well, damn. What it shoulda, coulda, can't do no more. I mean, it would be gone. But you can do what you can do now. And so that's what I'm begging people to do is to do what you can do now. Put out flyers. If you see something, you hear something, say something. If you have to be the one to pick up the phone, if you are in a chat and someone says that they think that they saw Sebastian, call it in. Don't wait on anyone. Call it in. You can ask the person to do it, but call it in. Even if you ask that person to do it, call it in. And so, with that being said, the FBI should have gotten plenty of calls. And I hope that they do get plenty of calls about this Oklahoma lead because it was called in on Sandy Street. On Sandy. There was a young man that was on a scooter, and the person that saw who they thought could be Sebastian on the scooter said, oh, whoa, hold on, he's got autism. I don't think he would be on a scooter. So the mind was going, nah. And then I jogged that memory last night, and she's like, holy shit, let me just say, I've seen this kid a couple of times, and each time I do, I'm like, what? Nah, it's not him. So it's squaring Saturn. The Mars is the vehicle, it's the scooter. The sun is how Sebastian would shine with a higher learning, but it's squaring Saturn. So his Saturn in the 10th house is about his dad. It's about publicity. It's about public image in the public. And it's a slowdown with authority. That would be the law enforcement. And there has been. There probably will be. Either way, this line isn't pulling a whole lot of other lines, you know? It's not like going full ham. I may have a hot spot here. I don't. I don't. US Marshals is here, Homeland Security is here, Ashray is here. There's a lot of things here. And what triggered her memory last night is because I was talking about a past lead by a man online who said that he took Sebastian to Ardmore, Oklahoma. Okay. And this man actually lives up here, and his name is Marcus Salazar. Then he started asking for some money. We quickly moved on from him, but it is a part of this dark moon return that Sebastian is having. And it is about long travels. It is about the courts. It is about the law. And so, anytime the leads come in, obviously I want to put them on the map, because if it is a hot spot, I may want to check it out myself. I may want to ask somebody who lives close to there to check it out. There are hot spots on this map. And I've worked it for so long and so many hours that the hot spots are chosen for a certain reason. And if I don't have a hot spot, then I need to know more. I need to look at it deeper to think that that could be a good place for Sebastian to be. Because I have, some of the hot spots that I have are him alive. Some of them are. But the ones that are, and if people are seeing him, especially if people are seeing him in a certain area over and over, I mean, that's a telltale sign too. I think it's so important to keep a log, a map like I've got with all the leads on it. So since day one, he's been missing. I've been mapping him. Anything and everything I've got on the map, y'all know how I am. I'm cray when it comes to making sure that I'm seeing everything if I can. If it's meant for me to find Sebastian, I will. If it's meant for someone else, they will. But it's going to take us all. And we need to be working together. How can we work better together? I think for one, it's getting flyers out. For two, it's also making sure that if we hear of a lead, we can call it in. We don't have to wait. You know that you can call it in. And if you don't want to take my word for it, don't. Google it yourself. Talk to law enforcement yourself, because it's a thing. You don't have to wait for somebody. All right. So I know that other people are going to be going live tonight. This isn't, I'm hoping that me and Jody feel good tomorrow night. We're going to have a great live tomorrow night. We're going to be talking about Venus, the root of Venus, because Venus is Roman. Venus didn't get the name Venus until many years later. But we're going to be looking and talking about Venus, values, your inner self-worth, and how mythology and religions have spawned that myth, that energy, if you will, that star, the beautiful bright morning star. Okay, so I hope you guys join us tomorrow night. But anyway, thank you guys for being here, Cam Gals. I see you, Cinderella, Jeff, Orb. Thank you, Orb, again for, oh my God, thank you so much. I did not tell Janelle what you sent, but thank you so much for sending our little grand boy a little gift. He'll hopefully be born in the next couple of weeks. We'll see. Yeah, her reading was magic. So was Cinderella's. I love both of them. I love I love reading live. It's just so much fun. And I love our members only know thyself. That is so much fun. And Angel of Light, I hope you catch that. I hope you catch some of those. I hope you've caught some of those lives. They're a lot of fun. Thank you, babe. Hey, everybody. I had a reading with Jen today. It was life changing. Thank you, Jen. I did see right before I came on live where you emailed me, so I'll email you back. It's been it's been a good day. I love it when I get to read. Eyes are always open. Sebastian and every missing person needs us wide open. Yes. They need us all to just work together. Just work together to find the missing. You know, we here in Oklahoma, do we need to be? Yep. Yep. I can definitely use y'all's eyes in Atoka. Sandy Drive in Atoka. There's a kid that's driving around a scooter that may or may not be Sebastian. Yes. Oh, thank you, Jill. So giving, girl. Thank you, babe. Thank you for the $10. Thank you, honey. He's somewhere. Yeah, I didn't know either. I didn't know either, but I think that it's a good thing that we all are on the same page and we know now. Well, I think that to play devil's advocate here because I've got to do it. You may see someone, and this has happened a lot. So it's not that this is, I had an elderly lady that reached out to Terry Lynn, and then they reached out to me, and we put it on the map. We did a private meeting. We put it on the map. She thought that she saw Sebastian walking on the road in Georgia. Days later, she did call it in days later, and then she reached out to the YouTubers. I think that a lot of times we're just our mind is playing tricks. A lot of times some of our minds will just play tricks on us. And then other people would be quicker. They'd be like, "Oh, I think that that's Sebastian. I think, that could be him." And so what this live is about is just saying, "Hey, if you hear or you see somebody comment, it's on you then. It's on you too. It's really on everybody to go, okay, is this called in? Because we had a hard time trying to get her to coaching her to call it in. And it wouldn't just be her, it's so many people, so many people, and then when I got online to try to fill it out online, it was like, who's the complainant? Who's this? Who's that? How do you do it? If you've never done it before online, the easiest way I think would be to call it in. I've called in many tips to the TBI or to the local law enforcement, but I've never done an online tip with the FBI. And it's not like, it's not the easiest thing to do. But at the same time, I'm saying, like, we all have that responsibility. We can do it too. We can do it too. Blue and white Vespa style scooter. Oh, thank you, babe. It was great. It was great. I love getting to know the deeper side, because when you're reading a chart intuitively, like the stuff with Edgar Casey, like, it's phenomenal to see that, to know it, to just know what you know. And then when I pull it and I prove it, it's a wow factor. But it's a wow factor for me too because I'm a part of that experience, I'm having that experience with you too, and it's at a deep level. And that's why I pride myself with intuitive readings. I love it so much. It's so, like, I love it. I love it. Yes. Jill, bless her heart. She was in a whirlwind once she came here. Now, it's not like she hasn't been here before, but this time was a whirlwind. We didn't get to have a lot of fun. It was so just like, "Whoa." It was wild. It is wild. And just think, you've got the link too with the reading that you can just go back to. You can show other people, you know? It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to be a witness of somebody's life and to try to understand what was happening in their life and the cycles of their life, you know? And just to, say, "Hey, I see it in your chart. It's okay. It's there." It wasn't just wasn't just an accident that this was happening in your life. It's being read, you know? Wouldn't change a thing. I'm glad, babe. I'm glad. I felt so sorry for you. Hey, it's important to not put the details in a public chat just in case, and it's important to work smarter, not harder. Yesterday was no. So, no, any important details. So what I was showing everybody is this, um, is, we anyone can call in the tip. It doesn't have to be that person. And putting in the chat and saying the road, the city, the state, then that allows everybody in chat to call it in. We can bombard them with the lead. And bombarding the law enforcement with the lead, that's great. And what I was telling everybody too is, transparency is important. And so as long as we are working together for a common cause, great things are going to happen. But as long as we are, trying to be a one-hit wonder, or we're just, holding it back or whatever, because sometimes we may think that we're doing service, we're doing justice. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. Hold this a secret. Well, secrets make you sick. And when it comes to these missing kids, I think that it's so important. We want transparency, but we have to give it too, right? So I think that it's so important for us on this channel to call it in. When you put those details in a case, there's a lead. Call it in. We don't have to wait on the original person. We can call it in. We can take screenshots. And a lot of people did take screenshots last night. And I think that that's a beautiful thing because they are thinking, hey, I may need to call this in. I may need to call this in because it's perfectly legal and the law enforcement would want us to do that. You know what I mean? When I said yesterday and the day before and the day before that this is going to be a time period for leads to come in for Sebastian, but it's going to be from the past. That's what I meant. That's what we saw. And it validates. It validates the good work. I just need a team because I'm not trying to be no one hit wonder. I just need a team to work with me, not work against me, work with me, work together for a common cause. Because at the end of the day, the kid, the missing person is who matters, Even need to be said, just like when I do cards, I don't need to know. You just have a thought and I'll pull the cards for you. It's more mind blowing for the receiver. It really is. You know what I'm talking about. It's so mind blowing for the receiver. Like it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yes, exactly. Exactly. We have to, once we become in the know, then we also have a responsibility. And I just want us all to know, having this come to Jesus meeting tonight, that we can be the ones to do it. And I am going to make sure that I do. I'm going to make sure that I call that in. And anybody that was in the chat last night, I'm asking y'all to do the same thing. Call it in. because once it comes to us, we have a responsibility. We don't just sit back with any lead. Hey, I just wanted to let you know that such and such said that she saw this missing kid. Really? Okay. Tell me about that sighting. They tell you. Okay. Then you call it in. Even if it's already been called in, you've heard about it, call it in. Because it sounds like to me that that is something that law enforcement wouldn't mind us doing if we're hearing about it. And when I'm building a map, if I have certain leads that would be coming in all at the same place, all in the same general area, I can find that missing kid. If there's a bunch of sightings right there, if it starts to become a hub of sightings, I'm just saying, it takes us all to work together. We just need to work together to find these kids. We need to work together. And, loose lips sink ships. But you know what? A loose lip could sink a whole ship when it comes to finding a missing person. Sink it. I want it to. I want it to fill up with water. I want to get that lead and let it go, let it fly into the ether of all the law enforcement. Call it in. We just got to call things in, guys. Now we know. Now we know. I know. I love it too. I love seeing your readings, or I look at every one of them. If I don't comment, I try to, but if I see them, I like them. I hardly scroll, but if I do see something, I'm like, oh, yep, let me like it. I love your work, babe. I said I saw a kid that looked like him on a scooter, but I wasn't sure because he was autistic. Yeah, like you just wasn't sure if an autistic kid would ride a scooter, but he would. I think he would because he was high functioning. I mean, he swam, he did all kinds of things. I mean, he was not. I think he would. I think he would have a lot of fun actually on one. Yeah, you're welcome, honey. Okay, well, guys, this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I hope that me and Jody are feeling good tomorrow, and I hope that we are able to make this live happen because it's going to be so much fun. And I think you will learn a lot, and you'll get to see me and my son just do our talking like we always do. And it's not going to be scripted or anything. We're going to talk about the morning star and everything that she represents in your chart, too. It's deep. It goes deep with Venus. Venus can take you down through there. And we're going to be talking about that tomorrow night. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for supporting this work. Thank you so much. And thank you to everybody else that does so much for Sebastian. I was talking to Lady Freedom today. She does so much um, with these missing kids because we care. And you guys wouldn't be here if you didn't care. And I just love you guys for that. And I appreciate your support. I really do, especially when it comes to my astrology and the work. It's difficult it's very lonely. This is a very lonely work, but it's going to pay off. I'm only getting better. Only getting better. Love you.